Dance off! Oh, that one just ruined everything. It was so short. It sounded so good. Good morning, y'all. It's very, very short. Good morning, good morning. All right, one more time. Last time for the morning vibes. Where's my morning people at? Tell me below if you're a morning person. If you're obviously somewhere else in the world, this is evening. Good morning, Gina. We got like a 12-second dance loop here. Just for you. Do you want to know what happened yesterday? Okay, let me tell you this. So, wait. One more time. It's so good. I really like this one. Tina's a morning person. Gina's a morning person. Okay, so yesterday I was hanging out with a friend and we somehow got into this conversation with I was like, you do this laugh where it's like that dog online. Do you guys know which dog I'm talking about? It's like, and I was like, I don't like that. And I was like, wait, what do I do that you don't like? And he's like, you do this dance thing like this. And I was like, you don't like that? That's like rainbows pouring out of the asshole. That's like pure joy. How can you not like that? So this morning I was dancing. I was like, oh shit, people don't like that. Oh well. Welcome to my rainbows. Yeah. So to my morning people, or to my people all over the world who this might be evening for them, but we're doing it anyways. I wanted to pop on real quick before I went to the gym for my run because because I wanted to. Because I missed you, because I love you, because I have shit to say, because I always have shit to say. Okay. Yesterday, I'm doing like a 2-day event with the Platinum Partner Group. And yesterday they said something that I was like it just, I'm not perfect. Okay. Yes, I just said that. I sometimes am not perfect. I'm sometimes a complete big fat disaster, like complete shit show. But sometimes in my desire to serve, I get overly excited, or I get distracted, or I get just so excited that I forget some really basic shit. And one of the things that I realized while I was in this training was, it was amazing. It was like Alison Armstrong. There were so many people in there. It was so great. Did you know that there's of course I'm going to forget the name now, Rich Dad, Poor Dad? That author wrote another book called something else. I have it somewhere around me. I'm looking for it so I could secretly remember the name. I forget it, but it's for women. I put it in my story. So check out my Facebook stories after. I put a picture of it. It's for women. I didn't know that. Anyway, the woman who co-wrote the Rich Dad, Poor Dad and series with that man, she wrote this book and she was on there and I got to ask her some questions. Anyway, it was really incredible. But one of the things I learned was I forgot, I just say what I want to say. And I teach my clients all the time that their title of your Facebook Live or the title of your blog or the title of your training matters. It matters, right? Like my Facebook group is the Daily Raw for women entrepreneurs crushing life. I don't even remember what it's called now because I call it the Daily Raw every day. So I forget what the tagline is. I haven't looked at it since I created it. But it's for women entrepreneurs who are supporting each other to rise, right? And it's a daily raw. So it's a raw space for you to say anything that you want, for us to talk about all the things that I say, even more things that I would say online, believe it if that's true. It is actually true. And then it's also for women who are entrepreneurs who have that energy of supporting each other to rise. And that's what we're doing. We're just doing life together, right? So that's the name of it. The ultimate how-to program. This is not fancy, right? The name of my new program is called The Ultimate How-To, right? What is the tagline for it? How the entire Mandy Perry Inc. company flows behind the scenes. It's very obvious. This is a how-to course. It's a how-to program. And it's the ultimate one, meaning every single thing that we have on the back end of how to do something, meaning the flow of something, like how it all works, and the how to actually do it is all going to be in this program, right? So then I remembered okay, I teach this, I know this, it is important because people aren't going to stop and read. So something like this Facebook Live, how to make money online, let's get real for a minute. everybody's like, wait, I want to do that. But I just forgot about that skill for a second. I just forgot that you really care about making money online. And so maybe I've been titling things like, ass kicking for squirreling out, right? You don't care about that. You don't care about that as much as you care about making money online. And so yesterday I just remembered, like, holy crap, there's a whole world shut down that is coming online and everybody wants to learn how to make money online. And I'm sorry that I kind of forgot about you for a second. And I kind of forgot that I took for granted the skill and ability that I have on accident. I didn't mean to, but I know how to make money online really, really easily. And I forgot to give you guys access to that and to make that really easy for you guys and to talk about that. So that's what I'm doing this morning. I'm like recommitting to myself, like, oh yeah, I forgot that this feels hard in the beginning and it feels like you don't know what to do and how to do it all. And it seems so overwhelming. It seems like you have to have all these complicated things in order for it to be successful. And you don't know how to do the simple things that actually take you from point A to making money. End of story. No matter how successful you've been, sometimes with everything changing, you just kind of get off track and you forget the fundamentals, or you get stuck at how to on the scaling, whatever the thing is, right? So I have recommitted myself to remembering, and I'm just sharing this with you guys in case it's valuable for you and you forgot or didn't know, that the titles matter and what it is. So this morning I was just like, okay, normally I just rant and rave about whatever's on my heart. I will continue to do that in my blogs. But on the Facebook Live, I was like, yeah, I can remind them what it takes to make money. And they don't always like what the message is, or you might not like what the message is. But this is the real honest truth from being a woman who was just desperate to put food on the table for my kids and for them to never have to stand in the mother-loving welfare line that I stood in and asking the freaking coaches if my kid could play for free and what could I do so my kid could play the sport, and all those humiliating, scary, hard struggle, all those type of things. I was so desperate that they would not have to do that I started showing up really big. And just this morning, one of my clients asked me, why did I end up pushing play on that first Facebook Live? And why have I consistently just showed up and supported my community and done so many Facebook Lives and so much free content and basically scaled a company from that welfare girl to 1.4 million 3 years later, which is basically unheard of, right? Obviously little Mandy, who had never had any business experience, couldn't have figured that out. And her question was so what made you do it? Do you know what I mean? What made you do it? And I'm curious if you guys have felt like that. Have you felt like that feeling? Have you had that feeling? What does it feel like? It feels like, how do they get themselves to do that? And what's wrong with me that I can't get myself to do that? Because I know that wave comes in for me all the time with the people around me. I always feel like the messy one. I always feel like I just feel messy. I feel like the messy one, the one who doesn't get the structure and order. And sometimes I forget how far I've come, but the feeling is still there, right? We know that, that feeling. How do they get themselves to do that so consistently? How do they get themselves to make it look like that? How do they get it all organized? How do they get it systematic? How do they get such results so consistently or so fast? How do they get it to look like that? How do they run the team on the back end? It was just this long journey of how do they do that? That's how it felt for me a lot. And looking back in the beginning of my company, the reason I scaled so fast was because I never was focused on how do they do that, ever. Not once was I focused on how do they do that. Never, ever, ever. I was focused on, I'm going to put food on the table for my kids. I'm going to create a different life for my kids. And I see all these people that are feeling the way I was feeling now that I have these results, and I'm going to support those people. That's what I was focused on. Always. I was always focused on that. And yesterday, that's what I sort of realized, oh, I just went through a 2-year phase of how do they do that? And my company continued to rapidly scale, but not like it was in the beginning. It was just and so it was oh, you teach this, Mandy. You know this, right? You freaking know this. And tell me if this has ever happened to you. Have you ever told your client or wrote something that you teach, and then all of a sudden you had to remind yourself, or somebody, you hired a coach and they told you the thing that you teach, but it's the thing that you needed to hear? That's why we have each other. That's why we do life together. We don't do this alone. We need community. We need mentors. We need people in our life reflecting back to us at the timing that we need it reflected back to us. Things that we already know, the fundamental things that we already know, and calling our ass into those things and actually aligning with them, right? So making money online comes down to two different things. Now that I've had the experience I've had, I feel like I've arrived at a certain level, even though I tell people that there's no arrival. I do have this sense of feeling like I arrived, like I know how to do it. Like I know how all these high-end people run their companies. I know how my company flows. Like in essence, I know how to do it. And I also actually know how to scale it all the way to $1 billion. Like I know how to create, I know how to become a billionaire. I know how to create $1 billion empire. Not all the lessons and stuff that I would need to learn to get there because I'm not there, but I at least get like, oh, that's how it happens, right? It's certainly multi-millions, but literally I have now an awareness of, oh, that's how it happens to become a billionaire. Like, oh, it makes sense to me. I can see how that could happen now. So, to make money online, there's two different parts that you really want to focus on. One of them is the how-to. Just know, because what happens is, I would say, if I could give you one tip for making money online, just do this one thing. Let it all be easy. Stop trying to make it complex and badass and savvy and as, you know, as beautiful and as whatever, you know, complicated as the girl that you're comparing yourself to or the guy that you're comparing yourself to, because that is chewing up most of your time. That is chewing up most of your time. Nobody cares. Nobody cares if my graphic, like look at the graphic for the ultimate how-to, mandyperry.com/how-to if you want to join that program. The first 20 get 50% off. I believe that's still active right now. So it's 50% off. Yes. So if you look at that graphic, like my face on the side is like too close and it's kind of weird. It's like a weird face. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit if my face is weird on that graphic. Not one single person cares. And I know there's so many people out there teaching you that you have to have perfect graphics and all has to be luxury and blah. Nobody gives a shit. Do you know what you care about? Are you going to relieve the pain of me feeling like I don't know how to do this and I have to figure it out? Are you going to have actually teach me how to do this so that I can free up my time and my energy to be in my zone of genius, to be in this high vibe state so that I can magnetize my people and I can build this empire? That's what I care about, Mandy. Are you actually going to relieve this feeling I have of like, how the hell do they do that? That's what you care about, right? So that's what I bring to the table, Mandy. Make sure they know that you're going to alleviate the pain of how to do this. You're going to download every single thing that you know that you've learned in your company and all the other companies that you've studied and learned under and the mentors that you've studied and learned under while you bring your gift, which is make it simple. We're going to make it simple and do it now. Make it simple, do it now. Make it simple, do it now. Because as you do that, you're going to have plenty of money to hire the other people to go make the rest of it fancy, right? Go make the membership site, go create the graphics for me, write the sales page for me, run the social medias for me, respond to the people for me, do customer care for me, customer service for me, clean my house for me, take care of my food for me. You're going to be able to hire all the people to do those things because you let it be simple in the beginning and stopped wasting 90% of your time wasted looking and searching all these different places for how to do this when you could have just been like, boom, here's the implementation, do it, let it be what it is right now on the way to where it's going, right? If you learn nothing else, if you actually shift nothing else in your life, if you really actually shifted this, hear what I'm saying, because this will change everything in your company, everything. If you actually, no kidding, no bullshit, whatever it actually took, not just I heard it and yeah, it's fluffy, but like, okay, what would it actually take for me to change this? For me to actually stop wasting my time trying to figure out how this all works? And I actually let myself be like, this is the next goal that I want. Boom, I'm implementing this next goal. Now I learned how to do that. What's the fastest, easiest, funnest way that I can do that goal right there? Get that one done, check it off the list while I take care of myself, while I have fun, while I travel, hang out with my girlfriends. Probably not travel right now with COVID. But while I'm allowing myself to enjoy the life that I want to live right now, which by the way is the thing that when we showcase online, when we're high energy and we're happy, people can see that. You can't fake that shit. So if you're all stressed out and frazzled on the back end, spending all this time trying to figure out how and doing all these different things, and you're not actually enjoying your life and doing the things that make you feel lit up and happy and excited and safe and like you're having fun and you're enjoying your company, then people are going to sense that. The energy that you show up in, they feel it in, whether you like it or not. And that's frustrating for some of us, especially when we're working our ass off and we're like, well, now I have to control how I feel. Yes, you do. But if you just release this comparison that's going on and maybe some bullshit training that you have that it all has to be fancy or it all has to be whatever for it to work, let me just tell you, you should go on my website and scroll back to some of my old videos. Nothing ever had to be fancy. I run a Facebook group. And then when you pay with a PayPal link. And then we get a notification, and back in the day it was me. I get a notification that you actually, literally, it was just this week that I have handed off the notifications of PayPal to my team. I have held on to that one for a long time. I get a notification that you joined my Facebook group. And then you go in the Facebook group and we add you to the Facebook group, or you get a follow-up email. Now it's a little bit fancier, right? Now you get a follow-up email and the email tells you to join the group. And then you go to the group, and in the group, I run my live trainings, and that goes to a membership area. But I didn't have a membership area before. Do you know what I did? There was a PayPal link, and then I noticed that you joined, and I added you to the Facebook group. I welcomed you to the Facebook group, and then I ran my Facebook Lives in there, and then I had a Google Doc pinned to the top. And on the Google Doc, it had a link to the videos. You can just put it in the announcement section. I mean, everything just gets to be so easy. Do you know what your graphic could be for your next program? A big black background that says the ultimate how-to with nothing else. And that's the fucking graphic. Hi, Apple. Do you know what Apple looks like? Like, you get to stop the rat race of trying to figure out how to do everything. First of all, get your ass in the ultimate how-to. My team and I are literally bringing everything that we figured out up until now, like everything that, I'm not holding anything back. It's not like what we figured out 2 years ago. I'm giving you everything that we ever created 2 years ago as a bonus to just sit in your membership area. But I'm also teaching you everything that we know up until now, which I felt scared about. Because well, then everybody's going to be the same as me and I'm not going to be the leader anymore. That felt a little scary, right? Yes. So in the ultimate how-to, just as an example, okay? Now we have this resource of all, and by the way, there's a Q&A in there. You can ask any question about any how-to for anything that you possibly desire for any reason, I don't care. From flow to actual doing it out, from how to hire someone to do it, from anything that you want to know on how to do your business. But this is what I'm going to teach you first, and this is what I want you to know here, okay? First, you get really clear what the goal is that you want. What is your goal? Right? And like in the Unresisted Life, what I taught the girls was, this is the filter that you use. The filter is, this is my goal. This is how I want to feel right now. And this is where I want to get to. I want, 50K months, and I want it to feel fun and easy and exciting and flowy. Okay, so that's the goal. Boom, that goes on the wall. Now, every decision that you make is, does this get me closer to that directly? Not in a roundabout way. You get to do everything you want, but there's a million shiny pennies that are going to come up that aren't getting you directly to your goal. You get to have that, and you get to have the experience you desire on the way to getting there. Both. You get to have both. And what's stopping most people is this frantic, trying all these different things and trying to figure it out and seeing how 27 people are doing it 27 different ways, and I'm watching all of them, and how am I supposed to know which one of these ways is the way I'm supposed to do it? And then and then I implement it and I go to do it, and then I'm trying all these different things, and then I learn something new, and even the things that worked, I'm throwing those things out. And it's like, stop all of that. Stop. Right? What I'm going to teach you guys is the different ways you could do it, and then you just get to pick one. And then you get to create an SOP, like, this is what we do for this, and that's done. Moved to the next thing. That is done. It didn't need to be complicated. It didn't need to be fancy. It got to be the easiest, funnest way. Now I'll hire the expert to make it all sorts of bells and whistles later, but for now it's done, and I'm moving on to the next thing, which makes me one step closer to my goal. My actual goal of the thing that I want, which you get to have, and you get to stop doing all of this messy shit that stops you from getting to have the goal that you really desire. And that is the number one way to make money online. The number one way to make money online is to let the goal be the goal, let it be really simple, and do it right now. And then call in the things that are like, this is how I make it simple. This is how I do this one thing that makes me go directly to my goal, which is the system I'm going to teach you in the ultimate how-to, okay? Now, the other part of this is the madly, wildly more important part. So once you've done that and you're stopped wasting all your time, I'm going to try this, and 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 I'm going to try this. Oh, I did it. Yes. Breakthrough. Oh, now I got to start all over again. I'm going to try this, and I'm going to try this, and I'm going to try this, and I'm going to try this. And it's exhausting. And it might, might as well go back to my 9 to 5, because this feels even more stressful. This company has 24/7 access to me. At least in my job, when I was done, I was done. Fuck, I want to go back and be a waitress. Right? Trust me, I've slipped and gone into that energy multiple times. Yes, releasing the perfectionism. Absolutely, releasing that shit. Honestly, let's just be really real. I've never really struggled with perfectionism, which I'm grateful for. But it gives me a unique eye to be able to see it for what it is. It's just an excuse to procrastinate. It's like a socially acceptable excuse. When we say, oh, I'm a perfectionist, it's like we're saying, oh, I do things right. That's different. Doing things right is not perfectionism. Perfectionism is I don't move forward the way that I want to because I want to do things right, right? So when we learn the skill of being able to like, this is my goal. Here you go, my perfectionist. Ready? This is my goal. That's my filter. I want it to feel like this getting there, and I want to get here. And I'm going to take direct steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know how many steps it's going to take, but I'm going to take direct steps to that goal. And anything that comes in that's stopping me from getting directly to that goal, I'm going to note it on my other list that says, not right now, you get to do this later. And then you put that on the later list. And then you put your later list away and you get back to your steps directly towards your goal. And you just filter everything towards, does this get me directly to my goal? Does this get me directly to my goal? Does this get me directly to my goal? Right? There you go, perfectionist. There's your way to stop squirreling out and holding back. And then you tell yourself, when I go to take a step, you've already cleared it. There's nothing to, what are you pausing about? You already know it's getting you directly to your goal because you knew the filter and you knew how to organize everything, and it's all done. And you get to continue to go directly to your goal. And what that does is the most important thing. Like, this is just basically how to clean up the mess that's stopping us from having what we desire. The more important part is once you've stopped wasting all of your time doing all of these frantic things, trying to figure it out and trying to implement, like, well, maybe if you're anything like me, hold on, tell me if you've ever thought this. You know I say all the things. Okay, well, I like this about her, and I like this about her, and I like this about her, but I don't like this, I don't like this, and I don't like this. So I'm going to embody this and this and this. And if I do all 3 of those or all 4 or 5 of those things perfectly, then I'll be successful. Like, I'm going to learn what everybody does, and I'm going to implement everything that I like about what everybody else does. And then I'll be like the most badass of all badasses on the internet. Come on, y'all, tell the truth. I know it's not just me. Even if it is just me, well, then that's what I have done in the past. And I get to continue to release that and come back to what's my goal? What are my direct steps to get to that goal, right? And so the number one step, if you are feeling like this, the number one thing I would do, well, I would get into and I don't even mean this as a sales pitch, I'm being really honest. I would get into the ultimate how-to, because you're going to have access to this for life. Every update that I do, this is our staple how-to program in Mandy Perry Inc. We're running it every single year, and every single year I'm going to update it in the membership, and you're going to get access to all of the membership, and it's 50% off because it's the first one we're running. Okay, so, and we have a Q&A thread in there where every single question that you possibly have gets answered. And trust me, every year that I do this, as the company grows and scales, there's going to be people asking more questions, and all those questions are going to go in there. But here's the deal. You have a resource now in your membership site that has every single how-to. Well, how do I create a payment for subscriptions, Mandy? How do I actually, build my sales page, Mandy? How do I, whatever, it's all in there. So you never have to go anywhere again. And by the way, I'm also going to teach you the fastest and easiest ways to find that. Like, how do I find that shit for free? Because almost anything that you want to find, you can find for free. But people don't know how to search, and they don't know how to do it, and it wastes, and that's what they do. They spend all their time doing that instead. I'm going to have it all organized and all there for you, right? But here's the deal. So once you stop doing all this frantic how-to action, which is, you hear people all the time saying it's not about how. And I agree with that. It's really not about how, except for it's also nice to know how. It's nice to know, like, hey, when I put an opt-in, what do I do? When I, if I'm like, what's in a launch? What do I do for a launch, right? Like, you say that you don't need to know how, but you're doing all these fancy things. Like, how do you actually do a launch? And who does it different? And why are you doing it different? And what are you actually saying in your sales pages that makes people have that feeling of like, oh, I want this? And what do you do in your email? Do you send out every blog as an email, or how do you get a high rate in email opens? And it's like, there's a lot of hows. Let's be real. There is. It's not about that, because when you're locked into what you desire, you will just naturally figure out the hows. You will be like, oh, what's the easiest, fastest way to do this? And you'll start figuring it out. But it is nice to have someone ahead of us who's like, here's the 3 different ways that you could choose to do it. Choose your way. There is no right or wrong way. Whichever way feels best for you, whichever way feels more aligned with your personality and energy, and do that one, and then stick to that one, right? And then change it anytime you want to, but now you know your options. So that does feel good. But once you freed up all that frantic action, guess what? Now you can do the real work that is like an honor. It's an honor to live the kind of life where you get to wake up every day and do whatever the hell you want, and study whatever you want, and take care of yourself in a really epic way. I get to run every day. I get to take a nap every day. I get to have this fancy system that puts my brain in alpha state and heals my adrenals and all that kind of stuff. I get to lay in the sun by my pool and read a book. I get to go frolic the planet with my daughter. I get to go on dates. I get to have sneak up meetings in the middle of I get to do all these things that I really love and desire that really make me in a state of overflow, so I have a lot to give. And that is an honor, because my life was not that way. And it feels so incredible to give that to myself. But I could take that away from myself by consistently just being like the how-tos of the next person ahead of me. So even though the ultimate how-to is giving you every single how-to, my intention in giving, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, I was talking about it with my team, and it's like, the reason I'm doing this how-to program is so that these incredible human beings who have so much to give will stop wasting all of their life trying to figure things out, and they will know how to do it so that they can then spend their time doing the things that make them in a high vibe, amazing state so they can serve the planet. Why wouldn't I do that? I know how to do this. It's so simple. All this shit is so easy. It just gets to be so easy. It does not have to be complicated, right? I'm going to give it all to you guys. You have it for life. And there should never be an excuse again as to like why I have to figure out how to do this. You get to know, because everything I'm giving you, because here's my thing. You might want to find some, like, I don't teach you how to do funnels, like fuck funnels, right? If I do funnels, I'm hiring someone to do all of the funnels. But that's the whole point. I'm going to teach you everything you need so that have so much money and you have so much success and so much free time that you can actually just hire people to do any other thing that may not be in there. And you could just hire someone to show you, right? Like, oh, I want to take my platform from, I just want to integrate into Infusionsoft. I want to have a CRM. So I have all my clients are organized, and I don't know how to do that. Great. Well, now at this point, you can just hire someone and say, hey, can you teach us how to use Infusionsoft? And then you get your team on the Zoom, and they hire and they show you how to use all of Infusionsoft, and it's all very simple and easy. No more wasted time on how-tos, because you've arrived at the level of leadership. You've arrived at the level of success where when something needs to get done, other people who know how to do it are telling you how, and you never have to sit there figuring it out again. That is the goal. Now imagine if all the heart-centered people on the planet were at that place. That is my mission. That is what I'm wholly locking in. That is the intention of the how-to program. That is my heart's desire. I'm here to serve. I want to help you. I want you to get to the place where you're free to do the things that you feel called to do, support and serve the world without getting caught up in this how-to bullshit. And if you have any questions, if you need support with anything, my life is quite free. My son just moved out. He was 17, he graduated, he moved out. It's just me and my daughter. She's gone to her dad's half the time. We can't freaking travel yet. So I really have nothing to do but time to sit here and help you guys and do the things that feel really amazing and frolic and play and grow and expand and blow my mind on all these things that I get to learn that have nothing to do with how to. And I'm here to serve you. And I want you to hear me loud and clear. I care. I love you. I want to help you. I want you to get out of that rat race, and I will support you any way that I possibly can. Do not hesitate to reach out to me in Messenger. People are scared to reach out to me. Why? You guys bring me to life. This isn't, I don't do this to convince you. You guys bring me to life. This is my purpose. This is why I exist. This is what brings oxygen to my life. I woke up this morning, alarm goes off, 7 a.m. call from clients all over the world. I pop on my one-on-one calls, go for a run, hop on a Facebook Live. Now I'm lit up for the whole day. Like this brings me to life. This is just us doing this together. And I want you to have that experience. So anything that I can do to support you from getting out of the rat race of the how-to, so that you're in the space of everybody supports you and no more wasted time doing that. And you feel like you can exhale. You feel like you have the time to be the person that you desire to be. You feel like you have the support and the resources that you need in order for you to truly bring your gifts to the world and have extra energy, have extra money, have extra time and space and the capacity to really be like, hey, I'm here, what do you need? And not feel overwhelmed and shut down by that, because I know what that feels like. Most of my life, when someone needed something, I was like, let me fix that real quick so that goes away because I'm so overwhelmed. That's how I lived my entire life. And this is a completely different, hi Heather, is that your bubble? And this is a completely different experience than that. So It is my deepest heart's intention. The How To Ultimate program is already open. The Q&A is at the top. You can start putting your Q&As in there. And some of them, my team and I mean, we're giving you everything. Already done legal paperwork. Basically everything and anything that I've needed to scale to the 1.4 million. I don't even know what my number's at now. Oh yeah, we're like halfway through the year. I gotta tell you my new numbers. I don't know what they are yet, but 1.4 million last year, like 1.4 million in 3 years from dead nothing. From like no business experience, a mama on welfare, no nothing, right? Like literally zero experience whatsoever, and keeping everything so basic and so simple and uncomplicated, and really giving myself what I need the whole time. If you desire to know how to do that up until, you can go check out my website, you can check out what we have. I'm going to teach you how to do everything up until where we are now. Everything. And we're just going to continue to scale it, and you'll have the updates for life. Like, do you hear that? I'm giving you the updates for life because I don't ever want you to be stuck in this again. And you can throw every Q&A, every how-to Q&A that you possibly have in there. Okay? Even if it comes to like, listen to me, this even means like, well, how do I, if I'm a mom, how do I create that space for my company that I need in order to work on it? That's a how-to. I mean, any how-to for you to be able to do this that has come up that you're wasting your time on, or that you're anticipating. If you're like, I desperately just want this kind of thing. How do I do this? Okay. Anything, every question will be answered. Every question will be answered. And not only that, I'm going to teach you how I've done it the whole way, letting the how-to be the really easy thing. I'm not going to lie, I slipped into the how-to a little bit. Like, there were some things that happened, and I accidentally, like when I started, basically when I was calibrating myself to the billionaire mindset, like how do like billionaires do this? How does life work for them? I slipped into a how-to a little bit along the way, but I quickly cleaned that shit up and got back to knowing what works and what flows. You probably even actually feel that in my company. If you've been tracking with me, you probably feel the difference in the energy. Yeah, I mean, everybody makes mistakes, and I just fucked that up a little bit. It's fine. It's no big deal because I remembered and got back on track, and it's all good. But yeah, and that just reminded me how awful that energy is, and how I just don't, like, yeah. We just don't need to live life that way, okay? Oh, I should probably put the link in the comments for you guys. Mandy Perry. That's exactly how I feel. I feel you, Stacy. I get it. MandyPerry.com/how-to. My favorite computer keeps shutting off. The screen keeps going black. I'm very sad about it. Do your funky thing. You guys are so funny. Okay, if you have any questions at all, anything, if I can support you in any way, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm going for a run. I'll be on a training today, but tonight I'll get back to you, or in the in-between if I take a break, or tomorrow I will get back to you. I love you guys so much. I love you. This is so available and so possible. If my crazy ass can do it, anybody can do it, and I really mean that. I really mean that. And I know you guys feel that. I know it. So it's really just a matter of like, okay, can we really do this? Like, no bullshit. Can we stop wasting all that time and energy? Can we get focused on what our goals are? Can we start taking direct steps towards them, and everything else just gets to fuck off? That's just the way it is. The thing is the thing. That's what it is. This is how we learn how to serve. It might feel selfish for a second, but that's okay. If you need to get selfish for a second, you know, oh, do I want to get into this? Let me just say, right, with the current things going on, there was a bunch of us who were asking questions, and people were shaming us for asking questions, like, stop asking us, like, and I knew that that was something, like, I wished I was beyond that state, but I wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, we get to accept where we're at. Like, I had to make it about me for a second so I could even understand what it is I'm supposed to be educating myself on. But once I got to that place, it was like, okay, I can shift gears now, I can hold space. But I had to let it be about me for a second. I had to. I knew that's what served. I knew, right? And so I got to just tell everything else to fuck off, even really important things, so that I could get on track for myself for a second, so that I could be in a position of strength where now I can just continue to hold space, scale, to serve, to do all the things, right? So that's really the call here. Okay, I love you, my girlfriends and my guy friends. I almost said boyfriends. I've been so excited this morning. I just been doing weird shit. So that's what it is. Sending you all my vibes and my rainbows out of my asshole. I love you. I'm here for you. Please let me know any way I can support you. I can't wait to see you in the How To program. We're already adding people in there, so you can, we just opened it this morning. So you can put your questions in there already. Okay. And we begin, I think Monday we begin. 15th or something like that, but you can already start putting your questions in there, okay? And we'll start creating content based on what you guys ask. I love you. Have an amazing day. I just went to shut off the Facebook Live on my computer.